Ugh. Ugh. Oh my god. Salve Omnis, it's your boy, Lukael. Welcome back to the Forgotten City. This is episode 3. So in the last episode, we uncovered a bunch of secrets. For example, that there is a man hiding in the underground of the city. We discovered that there's some Christians hiding among the citizens. We discovered an assassin hiding in the bats, unbeknownst to everyone. And we also discovered what happens if you try to steal something, which does break the golden rules. So I have got a long list of clues and leads to follow up on today. Excited to find out more about the Forgotten City. So as always, thank you so much for joining me. Without any further ado, let's jump right in. Waiting for all the textures to pop in. And okay, that's most of them. So we are at the beginning of a cycle. Oh, hello.
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius.
Salve,
Mind
friend.
telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina?
Alright, so we will be skipping the conversations we've had before, of course. The reason why this zipline didn't work last time is because it's actually coming this way. Like, you need to take it over there and then you can get all the way here, so I should have figured. Now, because this is the very beginning of a cycle, I want to do something about the girl who's sick.
The 49 Beladies fetch again with incessant labor.
Olivia.
The water they have lost.
I want to do something about the silphium resin that we need for... I forgot her name. This game is like quite laggy, especially when you just dropped in, but then over time it's pretty alright usually. So for the silphium, we can either spend 1,000 denarius to buy it from this asshole, Decius, or we can steal it. However, now that we know what happens if you steal...
Hey, Virgil, how much would you want to make me a bow?
For the last time, Decius.
Bottle of silphium resin, an extremely valuable ancient Roman remedy for various afflictions.
But how am I going to defend myself against someone else with a weapon?
So we can buy this for 1,000 denarius, or I can steal it and then just use it in the next cycle, because as we found out, if you steal something, it breaks the rules. So I will steal it and then we're just gonna run for the entrance.
Everybody hide.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Alright, so we need to run and survive, of course. And then we'll have it for next time, because I want to save the denarius for something that I might not be able to steal. Oh, he hasn't gotten here yet. Here he is. Look at him run. And he always makes it here somehow. Look at this statue. Statue's like, I'm gonna kill you. No, you won't. Do it, do it, do it. Whispers and then audible. Oh god, I'm almost dead. Hurry up, Cynthias. Ooh, that was close. I wish I didn't have to steal, but Decius, you know, he's way overpricing for this. Oh, your health does not come back up when you go through the portal. Interesting. Right, of course your state would stay the same. That's why the other guy that came here got really old. I forgot his name. The guy who came in here. Yes, Galerius. I don't have time to talk to you. That's why he got really old. Okay, I think your health does like slowly go back over time. So now we need to hurry to Lucrezia, give her the medicine for the girl who's sick. So now we have the silphium resin in our inventory, but it is still also here. Alright, let's see what happens. She's still alive, right? Yes, she is. Alright.
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this woman is dying? She needs the resin of a plant called silphium.
I have silphium resin. Here, take a little. It's interesting that you don't get the option of saying no. Like, what if you want to do this later in like another cycle, maybe?
What? Quick, give it here. Yulia.
Right,
You need to swallow
Yulia.
this. Here, let me help you.
Is it going to work? And maybe then she can tell us who poisoned her.
Hopefully, in a moment, she should be able to breathe normally. That was extraordinary. How did you know she needed this exact thing? And at this exact moment? Are you some kind of oracle?
Lead resolved. I'm a time traveler. Honestly, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. I heard she got sick earlier and went to find medicine. And yet there's no penalty for lying. But I'm just gonna be honest.
A what? I'm sorry, I must have misheard you. I think it's your accent, because it sounded like you said time traveler. But whatever kind of traveler you are, that was like the gods hearing my prayers and intervening.
In a way,
You just saved a person's life, and you
save
should be
Yulia's
proud of
life. I got an
yourself.
achievement for
She
that.
might even be able to thank you herself in a few moments. And maybe she can tell us who poisoned her.
Yes, that's
and
what I
what
wanna
she
know.
meant when she was muttering about that snake's cruel black eyes.
Yes.
In the meantime, I'm happy to help you with whatever it is you need.
No, I just want to know about her.
That's a shame. Thanks again for saving Yulia's life. Apollo smiles upon you.
There she is. Where are you going exactly? Hello, can we talk? Man, that is a very fast cure. She got instantly better.
It's you. Sorry, I'm still a bit out of it. But thanks for trying to help me.
Trying? I didn't try, I
suppose.
actually helped
Was there
you.
something you wanted? Lucretia says I'm supposed to rest.
Yes, I want to ask you a bunch of questions. Can I ask what happened to
As
you?
much as I'm grateful that you tried to help me, it's just not safe for me to talk about it. Please, no more questions.
I want to know how someone poisoned you without breaking the golden rule. Are you worried about the golden rule?
The golden rule. That's the least of my worries. The gods may be cruel. but
Malleolus?
Malleolus and Claudia are
Claudia?
far crueler.
Is that who poisoned you?
Please, just leave
Okay, it has to
me
be.
alone. I don't want to talk about it.
I'm afraid I have to insist. I can't help unless you tell me what happened.
Persistent as Nemesis, aren't you? I can tell you, but it's a long saga.
That's fine. I got all my time. I have all the time in the
All
world.
right. I'd been here about a week when it dawned on me I'd be trapped here for the rest of my life.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
I could hardly breathe, and I knew I had to get out somehow. So when my new friend Aurelia offered me a secret way out, I would have done anything. And then I learned her asking price.
Yeah,
1,000 denarii.
it's a bit
She
extreme.
was supposed to be my friend. I told her it would take me years to save
Not
up
a very
that
good
much.
friend.
So she suggested I take out a loan from Malleolus.
Man,
I
Aurelia, what the
did.
fuck? Thinking you'd be out of here before you ever had to pay back the loan?
I'm not proud of it, but yes,
I mean, that makes sense. I get
was
it.
surprised he agreed to it, to be honest. But I was so happy to have the money I didn't question it.
Maybe
I
Aurelia
had
and
to
Malleolus
sign
are
an
working
agreement
together.
saying I'd work off the debt over 30 years. But I figured I'd be out of here so soon it wouldn't matter. I paid Aurelia, and she gave me her so-called way
I
out.
think I can guess.
Do you want to know what it was? Hemlock.
So, yeah, it's poisoning yourself.
Drink this, she said, and you'll be out of here in no
It's
time.
exactly what I thought it was gonna be.
Of course, I demanded my money back, but she refused. She pointed to a sign on her tavern saying, "Let the buyer beware." Then she just looked at me with those cruel black eyes and
Oh, because she had already poisoned you?
she immediately told Malleolus
Okay.
I'd tried to escape without paying him back. Only he didn't seem upset or surprised at all. In fact, he thanked her.
Oh man,
And
that's
when I
so
realized the two of
sneaky.
them had planned the whole thing from the beginning.
So yeah, they're working together. She tells people she can give them the secret to leaving for $1,000. Of course, they don't have that money, so they need to borrow it from Malleolus. And then what, she just gives the money back to him? Like, how is he making money from this? Because they never get to pay the interest if they kill themselves. Surely that would have broken the golden rule. I guess not really. The golden rule seems to be mostly you can't do something wrong to others. Like, you can't steal from them, you can't express the desire to kill them. Like the assassin in the previous episode, it's not when he shot us with the arrow that that he broke the golden rule. It was when he said, I'm going to enjoy this or something like that. That's what I noticed while editing. Yeah, I don't think this kind of scheming really breaks the rule, strangely.
Of course. I went to Sentius and begged for help, but he said the law was clear. I'd signed over my labor for 30 years.
Oh, you did
and there
sign
was
it.
nothing he could do. I thought about resisting too. But Malleolus said if I didn't submit,
man.
I'd break the golden
So much
rule.
manipulation going on.
And I couldn't be responsible for all those deaths.
Yeah, of course.
So he locked me in his villa. Confiscated everything I owned as collateral and made me wear
What the
immodest,
fuck?
humiliating outfits while I worked day in, day out. His wife Claudia was just as bad. She sent me to work on an endless stream of futile, demeaning tasks. I'd be on my hands and knees, scrubbing the floor clean for hours, only for her to pour slop on it and hiss, "You missed a spot." Those two took everything from me. But they forgot to confiscate one thing. My hemlock.
So you poisoned yourself. Yeah.
I just wanted it to be over.
Yeah.
But it seems I messed that up too.
So that's why she didn't break the rule, because
Should've drunk
suicide does
all of
not
it.
break the rule. You're not exactly innocent in all this. She took a loan. Well, she took a loan knowing that she wouldn't pay it back, which I guess you could say is a little sneaky, but like, whatever. He's like a fucking loan shark, isn't he? I'm so sorry to hear that.
I brought it on myself. I trusted one of the most callous human beings I've ever met and tried to swindle the other. I don't know how I could have been so stupid.
So what happened to you now?
When I've recovered, I expect their thug Domitius will come for me. He'll escort me back to their villa, and I'll be right back where I started. Only this time, I won't be able to lull myself to sleep at night with the thought of a permanent
I mean, there's other
solution.
ways. You could just jump off a
Honestly,
cliff like the other
It
guy.
would have been better if the poison had been allowed to run its course.
I'm sorry, can I do anything to help? I could give her the money,
I doubt it. It seems this is the fate the gods have chosen for
but it's only
me,
going to help for this
for
specific
trying to
cycle if I do
escape.
that.
at least until someone breaks the golden rule. Huh. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
See, that's the problem. Like, the shit that Aurelia and Malleolus are doing, you know, trying to exploit the golden rule, like using that fear to make people take loans and like owe them money. I'm sure to them that sounds like a great deal in theory, but then you're making these people's lives miserable, and then inevitably one of them is going to want to end it and might maybe break the golden rule on purpose so that everyone dies. You're not thinking of breaking it, are you? I could buy her freedom, but it would only work for one cycle.
A lot. But it doesn't matter. I made a suicide pact with Ulpius.
Oh, that's why he jumps off the
He's
thing.
in exactly the same position as I am.
Oh, okay.
Malleolus and Aurelia set the same trap for him a month after they did it to me. He and I are in this together. He's probably already thrown himself from the bluff into Malleolus's villa by now. If so, I'd never be able to live with myself, knowing I broke my promise to him.
Perhaps I can help him too.
I doubt you could make it up to the bluff in time. I don't know who you are or why you seem so determined to help me, but thank you.
I'll get right on it. So the quest is to save his life. Maybe if I tell him about
keep you safe.
who's this? Equidia. Yes, she's the priestess. We haven't talked to this guy yet, the thug.
Hey, Horatius. How's it feel knowing
He's all the way up there. I don't know if I can make it there in time, but maybe if I tell him about Scintilla, that might be enough to make him not kill himself. See, that's the problem, is like we won't be able to solve everyone's problems in the same cycle, at least not this early, because I don't really know everyone. And like, you know, it's like in Majora's Mask when you clear a temple and then you have to go back in time. So if you want like the perfect ending in Majora's Mask, you need to do all 4 temples in one cycle and then finish the game. Otherwise, like all the nice things you did for everyone, they're just reverted, you know?
Salve, friend. Welcome to life under the golden rule.
Actually, I need to talk to Ulpius.
All right, well, it was lovely to meet you. I look forward to getting to know you better over the
I'm
coming
sure you
months.
do.
And if you ever...
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh, no. No. No, 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 no. Wolf-Pierce, what are you doing? Get back from there. If you lose your balance, you'll fall.
That's the idea.
What? Why? Why would you want that?
Why do you think I'm stuck for the rest of my life working
Right,
for
yeah, he said that.
I know things are hard for you right now. They're hard for all of us. Please just think this through. If you do this, it could be the sin that seals all of our fates.
It won't
I'm
be.
sorry, but I just don't care anymore.
Please, Ulpius. Help him. If he goes through with it, it could be the end for us all. Thank you.
Is this what Scintilla would want?
You know about that? How is that possible? I mean, I've never mentioned it to
I am an
anyone.
envoy from the gods. You'd never believe me if I told
Well,
you.
if you say so. You don't understand. I don't want to hurt anyone. I just want it all to be over.
Maybe I can help solve your problem.
It's too late for that. Yulia and I made a pact. And she's already swallowed hemlock this morning.
But she's still
If
alive.
I backed out now, I'd be betraying her. I can't do that.
I've already saved Yulia's life, and I'd like to help you too. Lucretia was able to get some silphium in time to save her life. She's going to be fine. Does it matter which one I pick here?
Oh, really? That changes things a little. But we're still in debt bondage to that monster. Unless you
I don't think I
happen
have
to
2,000. If you give me a bit of time, I could. Wait, why do you need 2,000? Well, no, but I could probably raise the money if you give me some time.
No.
Okay, so you need the 2,000s
Time's up.
to save them.
I am out. Wherever you
shit.
are. Scintilla, my love. I'm sorry.
Ulpius, no!
Okay, well, we were almost there. We almost have all the elements
Can't
needed
believe you went
to...
through with it. Oh, Lord. I'll have to let everyone know what, and I'd best...
Okay, well, shit. So apparently they said this was the villa for Malleolus, right? This is the guy we haven't talked to yet. There's Sentius in his villa there. Let's see if we can get inside and talk to this guy. Oh, it's locked. Is there like a side entrance maybe? No? Who would have the key? The gladiator dude? No, we haven't taken this path so far. Okay, well, we didn't succeed at saving both their lives, but now I know a bit more. I know I need the 2000s, and like that shouldn't be too Okay, apparently there's a way for you to be lighter, so you could walk on this, but like how would I do that? How could I possibly become lighter? I don't know. How much money do I have right now? I only have the 1000, so I'm gonna need to keep collecting more every cycle or steal it. Would this kill me? Okay, no. Chest. This chest here always has 300, so that's one of our best way to make the money. The problem is I will need to steal more silphium next time I want to try this, right? Because now it's gone. I've already wasted it, and if I buy it, then I lose 1000. Okay, well, give me a second just to take some notes about the things we learned from Yulia. So another thing is in my inventory, I have the key to the chest in the Shrine of Apollo, which I haven't tried using. So let's go try to use it and see what is in that chest. I don't quite remember where I found that key, but doesn't really matter. Also, I hope I keep the key after using it.
May Apollo keep you safe. Feeling all right? That's
She
a
has
shame.
nothing else to say. And she just chills here. I'm sorry, he did kill himself.
Oh, it's you again. Is everything all right?
Do you know anything about Scintilla's disappearance?
No. I did hear from Ulpius that she disappeared. It's very sad. She was such a lovely young woman. But I'd been locked in Malleolus's villa for months before she went missing, so I can't help you, I'm afraid.
Okay. Fair enough. So what is your story?
You mean my life story? Oh, well, I grew up as part of a big family in Rome. Me and 3 older sisters. Our father found good husbands for my sisters, but I wasn't cut out for that kind of life.
Okay.
So he found me a job as a scribe for a prominent merchant. It was a good life for a while. Until
7 months ago with the fires,
when the fires came. My colleagues and I worked desperately to try to protect our warehouse. We must have had 100 workers passing buckets of water, chanting prayers to Vulcan, but they fell on deaf ears. The fire was relentless and it claimed everything and everyone. Well, almost everyone. My employer told me to grab what valuables I could and flee for the Tiber.
The
with
Tiber.
crowds. I remember diving into the river and then the next thing I knew, I was waking up on the riverbank not far from here.
Just like everyone else. Sorry to hear that.
Thank you. But to be honest, sometimes I think dying in that fire might have been a blessing, given what's happened since.
I understand. Do you know... Well, we know she doesn't.
If that's your idea of a joke, it's not funny. Go away.
I'm sorry. I just need to ask everyone, you know?
I know what kind of person you are.
Oh shit, now I've locked myself out of this conversation. That's fine. We'd asked most of what we needed to ask. So where is the chest? There's supposed to be a chest in here. This one. Nevia's treatment notes. Nevia? She's the one locked in the palace. Treatment notes: flatulence, rhubarb, ulcers, gentiane, stomach pain, glucoriza, rheumatism, willow bark, boils, aloe. Okay, Right, she's the actual doctor. Lucretia is only there as replacement. Nevia is the actual doctor. So I guess to cure rheumatism, we need willow bark for Rufius. Alright, yeah, figure out a treatment for rheumatism. We've got that. Now I guess we need to find it. Oh, tell Lucretia how to treat rheumatism. What are you doing there? Oh, she's washing the walls. But like, do they have willow bark?
Feeling all right?
I figured out how to treat rheumatism.
You made it into the palace. I'm impressed. How is Nevia?
Actually, I didn't. I found another way.
Oh, I see. Well, what's the treatment?
Willow bark.
Willow bark. I should have known. It was under my nose the whole time. That's very helpful. Thank you. If this works, it should settle Rufius down some. I have some right here. Could you do me a favor and give him some of this? He'll just need to swallow a pinch of it. I'm hoping it will avert disaster.
A pot of finely shaved willow bark for medicinal purposes. I hope I have it for every cycle now, and that giving it to him is not going to like just use all of it. Alright, I can do that.
I'm really glad you arrived when you did. That's a shame. Thanks again for saving Yulia's life.
No problem.
Things, Horatius?
As always, priestess.
Any news about Centilla, Navia, or Kabash?
Kabash.
No sign of any of them, I'm afraid.
So there are the three
Well,
missing.
We do have a newcomer. Strangely dressed fella.
A traveler from a far
I wonder what I'm
land,
actually
then.
wearing.
Seems that way.
Then let's make sure he feels welcome, shall we?
Of course.
Aw,
priestess.
she's so nice. Okay, yeah, he's up there.
Name's Rufius. Better watch your step.
You're so hostile. You don't even know me. About your rheumatism.
What business is that of yours?
Well, I happen to have a cure. I figured out the treatment. Eat a pinch of this willow bark and you should feel better in no time.
Willow bark. And this will work? Oh, thank God.
Try it.
Finally, some relief. This is what I've been praying for. Maybe
Lead
God
resolve.
hasn't abandoned me after all. Thank you. I've been in a lot of pain lately. The rheumatism, this cursed statues always watching in the
A crisis of faith.
crisis of faith. It was too much. Started messing with my head.
Okay, so does that mean you're gonna stop harassing Virgil?
This is exactly what I needed to set it straight again. I owe you one.
Okay, so what if I now ask him about Virgil?
No idea what you're talking about. Look, I haven't been at my best lately. I know that. It's the rheumatism. It starts with constant pain in all your joints. And the pain starts to mess with your head. Makes you angry. Mean. I know.
Homophobic.
It's not an excuse for how I acted. But it's the truth. But with the willow bark, I'm already starting to feel like myself.
It's
again.
cured me of all my
And
prejudice.
I know I said I owe you one.
That's right.
So
leave him alone.
I'll leave him alone from now on. It's not as if I was ever going to hurt him anyway. I was just flashing out. I'm going to go and clean up the graffiti.
But this is all going to be just for this one cycle.
Forget this ever happened. Will you?
Alright, no problem. I get that being in constant pain can make you irritable and like lash out at other people, but of course there's a lot more to it in his case. Like he's kind of wrestling with his own sexual identity plus his Christian faith, which is supposed to be like opposed to that, so it's complicated, but alright, we've fixed it at least for this one cycle. I guess this is going to be a case of like we need to do all of these things like one after the other in the same cycle so that everyone's life is better, and then maybe they can change their votes for us. Yo, Virgil.
Ah, a new face. Salve. I hear we have you to thank for saving Julia's life. I'm glad you arrived when you did.
Don't worry about the threats. It's just Rufus and he's never going to hurt you.
What demon or spirit told you about that?
Just trust me, dude. I found an incomplete note in his
You went
house.
snooping in his place? That was risky. We're lucky you didn't cross any lines. Have you spoken to him about it?
Yes, and he won't be bothering you anymore.
Really? How did you manage that?
I've got my ways. I found a treatment for his rheumatism, which was making him agitated and compounding some other personal issues.
Poor fellow. I've heard that
An
can really
achievement
mess with a
for
person's
solving
head.
Virgil's problem.
Well done for figuring that out.
Happy to help. I think he wants to help clean up his graffiti too.
Really? That's promising. I'll keep an eye out for him.
Alright, just, you know, go slow with him. He's not, he hasn't really accepted that side of himself yet.
Nice to talk to you.
Lead resolve the sinner. But like, what does resolving these leads really do, considering it all gets reset in the next cycle, right? So I guess I'm going to have to do it all over again next time. Or maybe some of these things like stick through the time loop. I don't see why they would, but maybe just for gameplay convenience. I don't know. So figure out how to stop Ulpius from killing himself. We need the 2,000 gold. Intruder. How to neutralize the armed man. I may need to get creative. I don't really see what I could use for that yet. Get Galerius elected magistrate. I need to make him popular among a majority of the voters. And he's only going to run if Malleolus drops out. Figure out why Livia is acting strangely. Perhaps the priestess might be able to help her. Livia, right? Obtain a bow. So to get in the cistern, we need to get the key from Dooley, who's in prison. But for that, we need to get him out of prison. For that, I think we need to talk to Sentius. Get into Malleolus's villa. Alright, we need to talk to Domitius. Find a way into the palace. I've learned that Ulpius may know something about Scintilla, but we can't talk to him about it unless we save his life. Alright, I haven't had the long conversation with Sentius yet, and I also haven't talked to this guy. Nor gone into this house. What is in here? A stove. No doubt unpleasant cooking with such poor ventilation, but Romans probably regard that as their servant's problem.
I'm afraid this area is private. I must ask you to leave.
Which area? This whole house or just this one room? Octavia's chest? A note to Octavia. Directions to a secret shrine. Enter the caves behind the theater, then turn right at the first fork and the second. An anonymous friend to Octavia, may the Lord bless and keep you. I am sorry I could not risk discussing this with you in person, but if I am right, then you're a believer like me. You may not be able to worship openly here, but know that you're not alone. If you ever feel like you need somewhere to pray, there is a special place waiting for you deep in the caves behind the theater. Turn right at the first fork and again at the second. Huh. Is that like the secret passage we already found, or... The priestess? What about her? Maybe she's hiding something. Maybe she only seems nice. Equidia's chest. 190 denarius. Okay. Behind the theater?
Hey, you're not thinking about going into the cistern, are you?
I kinda was. Yes, why?
Nobody's told you about Hannibal? Ugh, why do I have to do everything round here? So, there was this guy called Hannibal, right? Funny accent. Used to go down into the cisterns looking for junk he could clean up and sell. one day, a few weeks back, he comes out and tells me the cisterns are haunted. Said he could hear spirits wailing. Of course, nobody believed him, because who trusts a Carthaginian, right? Anyway, a few days later, he goes back in. And hours go by, and he hasn't come back out, yeah? So I go down after him, and it's dark. But in the distance, I can just make out his body, sprawled out on the ground. And hunched over him was something that made my blood run cold. No word of a lie. I saw
a ghost.
A creature. Like the corpse of a man who'd been flayed. And it was eating Hannibal.
What? You saw a fucking zombie? What did you do?
What any sane person would have done. I legged it out of there and put a sign at the door to warn the others.
That was a great story, but I'm still going down there.
Without a weapon? Well, it's your funeral.
Okay, so you don't... I guess that's fair. Is there really a creature down... Is there really a creature down there? Fucking ghoul? Is there a ghoul down there? I actually kind of want to talk to you now. Let me talk to you.
Malleolus isn't receiving visitors at the moment, it being election day.
So what's your story?
Her name's Domitius. You want to get to Malleolus, you go through me.
So I've heard. Why are you dressed like a gladiator? I mean, I guess because he is one.
Why? Because I am a gladiator. That's why.
Okay, but you're nowhere near an arena.
You want to see me fight? Keep running your mouth, fatuous cunners.
I'd like to meet Malleolus.
Too bad. He's busy. Unless... No. You don't look like you could afford it.
Do I need to spend money to see him?
I'm glad you asked. See, he's a busy man, and this is an important day. He'll be inside practicing his victory speech for tonight. Left me strict instructions he doesn't want to be disturbed. So if you want to see him, I'll need something valuable in return.
I'm gonna guess 1,000 denarii. Alright, what do you want?
Dunno. Something good.
Isn't soliciting bribes a sin?
Bribe? That's such an ugly word. What I'm looking for is more of a tribute to me, your soon-to-be patron.
Here's 10 denarii.
Hey, Caput Murde, Futuere es. Just make it good.
Okay, if I say that, I'm guessing that I'm going to give it to him.
Os inculio mio. Just make it good.
Okay, he wants 1,000. I'll see what I can do.
Just make it good.
Do you know a way out of here?
When Malleolus wins the election, yeah? This place will change. You won't even want to leave. You'll see.
I don't know about that. What do you think about the golden rule?
I think it's gone on long enough. And Malleolus is going to put an end to it once he's elected.
Sounds great. Can I help in some way? How's he going to do that?
He's going to announce it in his victory speech. Just you wait and see.
Would it change your mind if I told you that he's going to break the rule? Why can't you tell me now?
Because if I tell you, and it gets out, it'll give old man Sentius a chance to interfere in our plans. And we can't have that.
Sounds great. Can I help in some way?
We've already lined up the votes he needs to win. Just stay out of our way, and we won't have a problem.
So, who are you going to vote for?
Malleolus, of course. If old man Sentius can't even protect his own daughter, how can we trust him to protect us?
And everyone keeps bringing that up. I guess if we could find his daughter, it would really change a lot of people's opinion. I need to speak with Yulia?
She's not here.
Where is she?
Had to carry her to Lucretia's clinic this morning. Shrine of Apollo. She was acting sick.
Acting sick?
Faking it, if you ask me. Typical.
You're typical. Do you know anything about Sentilla's disappearance?
Listen, I don't abduct women. They come to me. And they keep coming back. If you know what I mean.
I don't know at all. I think you're hiding something. Yes, subtle, but I think I know what you mean.
Uh,
Maybe he is hiding something.
Listen, I don't abduct. You don't know Sturkus.
Alright.
Whatever. Just remember, I'll be watching.
He is pretty jacked. I can see why, like, Malleolus is hiring you as his muscle. What is this building? Another locked building. Alright, let's go have a longer talk with Sentius. And then I guess we'll go and try to meet this ghoul.
What now?
Hello, Sentius.
We're finally alone. We have? Is that about?
We've had this conversation too, and I'm in a hurry.
Seems rather brash. But, all right. Why have you sought me out?
Can we talk about who's going to break the golden rule? I was hoping to ask you some questions about my investigation. Let's start with like just the basic questions.
Sextus Sentius Imperiosus is my name, though magistrate is the proper way to address me. Before I wound up here, I was a decurion in the cavalry of Imperial Rome, helping protect civilization.
Have I asked him that? I don't think so, because it would be grayed out otherwise. What's a decurion?
It's a cavalry officer. I had 30 men under my command. This was my uniform.
I know this because of Asterix. And why are you still wearing it?
As magistrate, I usually wear a toga, but today I may need to survive long enough to create the portal.
My man thinking ahead.
So it seemed prudent.
You're very clever. How did you end up here?
My men and I were at the Emporium in Rome as honor guard for a visiting dignitary arriving upriver by barge. Now, the port is usually bustling, but just as our guests arrived, waves of people began running toward the river from streets and alleyways in every direction. They were trying to escape a terrible fire. Unfortunately, the crowd sent my horse into a panic, and I remember it losing its footing by the water's edge. The next thing I knew, I was waking up on a riverbank not far from here in the company of some stranger.
Was it a woman by any
looking
chance?
for my horse and discovered that lonely temple.
Everyone woke up next to a strange woman, so I think Karen is actually... like, she's part of this. They've all met her, I think. How did you come to be magistrate?
I was elected 7 months ago, uncontested because of my command experience. Since then, there's been growing agitation for another election. They're supposed to be annual, but I agreed to hold it sooner, hoping it would placate my constituents.
Fair enough.
Unfortunately, it just seems to have emboldened certain elements instead.
Well, I think it was still the right thing to do.
Very well.
Do you know a way out of here?
If I did, I'd have led these people out of here already.
Yeah, of course. What do you think about the golden rule?
I've had plenty of time to think about it. Let me see if I can sum up my thoughts. I've always considered my guiding star to be the well-being of the Roman people. Our survival and prosperity have always hinged upon honoring the peace of the gods, the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome. Give the gods what they want and we all prosper. Dishonor them and we all die. It's as simple as that. The real enemy in this place is not the golden rule, but human failings. The temptation to slide into degeneracy, greed, and hubris. I trust that answers your question.
So you don't think people should be allowed a little bit of leeway? Like, fundamentally, I agree with you, of course, but I do still think the golden rule is a problem. You know, it can't be that intransigent. Is that a word? I'd like you to release Dooley.
You mean Duilius? Releasing him is out of the question, I'm afraid. That man is a liability we simply cannot afford. Perhaps you're not aware he was caught multiple times, sneaking around in places he should not have been.
What if I tell you it's necessary to save everyone? What exactly did he do?
Look, I can see where you're going with this. You think me cruel. I assure you that is not the case. You may not be aware of this, but it was not so long ago, during the Republic, the law of the 12 Tables would have required that he be killed as soon as he was born, owing to his deformities. Here we see to it that he has food, water, and shelter, and most importantly, he is able to continue
in a
living.
cage.
A privilege that would be taken away from all of us were he to be released and commit the crime of trespass.
Is trespass a
The man
crime?
has
I don't
no
think so.
self-discipline, poor comprehension of what is going on around him, and is an incorrigible rule breaker. I will not jeopardize the lives of my people so that one man can go free.
I mean, that's fair.
Now, was there something else?
Because they don't have like a clear set of rules that they can or cannot break, they have to be very careful about like everything. Don't steal, don't trespass. Like, you can't risk someone accidentally breaking one of the rules and then dooming everyone. But because I get to repeat this cycle, and because he knows I'm someone that's from the future, he should sit me down and be like, please tell me everything you know. Like, tell me all the information you've gathered from the loop. Tell me what the rules actually are. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter because he knows they only have a day left. But yeah, I was hoping to ask you some questions about my investigation.
Ask then.
Okay, it's all stuff I've asked before.
Good. Now, was there something else you wanted to discuss?
Can we talk about who's going to break the golden rule?
Of course. What is it?
I've already figured out how to stop at least one person from breaking it. What happens now? I think I know who it is. Well, Malleolus... No, actually, Domitius is the one that ultimately breaks the rule in every cycle, no matter what. Because he says, I'm looking forward to killing you, and that breaks the rule.
Well, if you stopped one person from breaking it and you're still here, then there must be someone else about to break it.
True, yeah.
Allow me to explain. When I discovered the ritual to Proserpina, the instructions came with a warning about paradoxes. The crux of it is this. If you do anything to change the course of history in such a way that your very being here is impossible, to illustrate, when the golden rule is broken, I will open the doorway that will bring you here to prevent it from being broken. If you manage to succeed in saving our lives, then I will have no reason to open the doorway, and you will never have come here. A paradox, you see? The same thing would happen if you, say, inadvertently, allowed me to die. If I can't summon you, then you can't be here.
Right.
Obviously. If either of those things were to happen, I am given to understand you would be flung back to your original time, having changed the course of history for us and yourself. So the fact that you are still here means someone is going to break the golden rule, and there is yet work to do. Understand?
But if I'm sent back to my own time, it's not going to help me escape the city, right? I'm only going to be in the future, but still without any exit to the city unless we eventually discover that there is an exit. Also, your theory only makes sense if time in this game is like a flat, you know, like not a flat timeline, but like a circle, you know. It can't have branching timelines, basically, because if time gets to break into two branches, then your theory doesn't work. Because then I would just change the future for our timeline, but the timeline in which you originally brought me here would still continue to be the same. Anyways, I think so.
Excellent. So, it looks like you'll have to continue your investigation. Now, of course.
I think I know who it is.
Yes?
Got a long list of people. Is the assassin who arrived in this city this morning. Well, ultimately the person that breaks it is Domitius. But like, what can he do? I guess at some point we'll have to try telling him each of these and see what he does about it. Like maybe he imprisons that person, and then how does it affect the future? I think the initial culprit is always Domitius.
Why do you say that?
He's been trying to intimidate people. No, it's because he kills you in the election. It's neither of these. Why don't I have the option?
So I'm told. This is truly atrocious behavior, which undermines the very foundations of our democracy. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, but before we proceed, I must ask, are you sure he's the one?
No.
Ah, I see. In that case, it looks like you'll have to continue your investigation.
Okay, if I don't have the option of saying that it's Domitius, then I guess it would be Malleolus because he forces you to fight Domitius, which then leads to the rule being broken.
Of course. What is it? Yeah?
It's Malleolus.
Why do you say that?
Right, okay. When he wins the election, he's going to convict you of treason and sentence you to death.
What? I'm speechless. How do you know? Of course, this isn't your first loop, is it? Well then, you must stop him from winning the election.
Oh.
I expect you'll need some kind of leverage on him, but I can't be seen to be involved in this, of course, so you'll be on your own.
Because it would look like you're just trying to, yeah.
And May Swada, goddess of persuasion, go with you.
Swada, goddess of persuasion. I need to note down all these gods because we might need to give the answer to the old man hiding in the underground. Right, of course. So I was kind of expecting him to just imprison Malleolus to avoid this future, but of course he can't do that because then it's gonna look like he's just trying to cheat the election, the people will rebel, and it's just all gonna go to shit, so he can't really do anything. He needs to rely on me. I don't think I can. Not in this cycle, at least.
You mean to say you've tried every non-lethal measure you can?
No, just that I won't have time today. Perhaps not everything I can.
Well then, perhaps you'd better keep trying.
What would you do if I said I did?
Good.
Would you then kill him? You can't do that either. Okay, I need to go and check out this ghoul in the cistern. Is there actually a creature down there? Ugh. I don't want to run into a creature. Ugh. 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 Oh my god. 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 Wait, peeled statue? Peeled statue. Hello? Ha! Huh. Kick? I can just kick it. What the hell? It's like it confirms there's people under the statues and somehow this person is like halfway covered in gold. Can you actually get out of there? They can't get out of there. End it. What the fuck? Are you saying all the golden statues have like people still alive inside? Yo, can I talk to you about this?
What now?
Can I really not tell him about this?
Whatever. Just...
Why can I not... Okay, this thing is trying to attack me, right? Yeah. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. What? A statue of a Roman man holding up one arm. He's either greeting someone or surrendering. A Roman woman in the middle of disrobing as if she'd been visiting the baths. A young Roman man posed as if beckoning others to safety. A young Roman woman throwing up her hands as if to surrender to an unseen enemy. Creeper vines. If only they could support my weight. So as this thing followed me all the way here. So he believed that this ghoul was trying to eat Hannibal, but it doesn't look like they try to eat you, they just kind of attack you. Oh, don't come. No. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I love that you can just kick it. That's so funny. Okay. Leave me alone while I'm like investigating this place. The priestess. What about her? Lunar pendant. There's a Latin inscription on the back which reads Sen Dia Def. Show it to Sentia. This must be the pendant for Sentia. So Sentia died down here. Coin pouch. You.
Let me die. Please.
So this is Sentia?
It hurts.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Oh, that's horrible.
Help me.
It's so much worse knowing that there's like people inside the statues. What the hell? Oh, stop. I wish you would stop. I wish you would stop running after me though. That's annoying and also very creepy. I know, dude. I can't help you though. So just leave me alone. I'm gonna try and find a bow to kill you, I guess. Right, if we can find a bow, we also have like a few arrows which we can then which we could then use to kill this guy. Once and for all. 7 arrows, there we go. That's gonna be useful. Where does this lead? Can I climb that? Can't climb it. Just running around. Okay, if you want me to kill you, like, why do you try to kill me? How? Okay. It's basically just a skeleton at this point. It's not really a person. It's really just like a zombie. That's so weird. Okay, thankfully you kind of get stuck in the environment, which is good for me. Crushed creature. An emaciated human-like creature spattered in gold. It appears to have been crushed to death while entering the cistern from the cave beyond. More. Oh, I got a quiver. Nice. And more money. Interesting. Can I really not tell Sentius about this? About the creature down here? That is so fucked up. What the hell? Okay, I can at least show him the pendant.
So you survived the cistern. Probably just a stroke of fortuna. Don't get cocky.
I mean, if I survived it, you would be just fine, but you're the one who's too scared to go down there, aren't you?
What now?
Okay.
Whatever.
You're the one
Just
who's too scared. Okay, I think I found your daughter, dude.
Ah, you've returned. Do you have any news about your investigation?
Can I not show you the pendant?
Yeah.
It's the assassin who arrived in this city this morning. I wonder if I tell him about that, if we could do... If there's anything he can do to help me? Maybe give me a weapon or something?
What? An assassin? What are you talking about?
Apparently he was sent by Nero to assassinate someone in this city named Quinctius.
Then what are you doing here talking to me? Why aren't you out there trying to stop him? You'd best go. Quickly.
I'm just a guy.
As magistrate, I hereby declare him an enemy of Rome and authorize his
My
execution
hand?
by
I'm not a
your
soldier.
hand forthwith.
How would I execute him?
Any way you can. Despite my weapons ban, it's been my experience one can always find a weapon if one looks hard enough.
Okay. Won't that break the golden rule?
I don't believe so, no. It's not a crime to carry out the lawful order of a magistrate.
Don't you need to give him a trial first?
So now you're an expert on Roman law, are you?
Well, I am an archaeologist.
We are cut off from the Empire down here, fending
Okay, but
for
if you're trying to bend the
ourselves
rules...
on the brink of annihilation. If ever there was a time to dispense with legal procedure, it would be now. Think of it as an act of preemptive self-defense. Think of the lives you'll be saving.
No, because you're assuming that the Golden Rule follows the rules of Rome and the laws of Rome, but that might not be the case. They're the rules of the arbitrary rules that the gods set.
Then perhaps you would prefer the feeling of being responsible for the deaths of everyone in this city.
No.
Now is not the time for cowardice in the guise of philosophical introspection. Now is the time for action. You have your order. Carry it out.
Why don't you ask Domitius or like this other guard guy, the Horatius? Alright, I'll take care of it.
Thank you. Please act quickly before it's too late.
You're suspect? Wait, so you would tell me to execute anyone, no matter who it was? How do I show you the pendant?
We'll speak again after you've
Aw,
carried out
come on,
my
dude.
order.
Okay, what if I show the pendant to her sister instead? And she's not here. There you are. Cynthia.
Oh, I wish Horatius would stop letting barbarians in here.
Can we talk about Scintilla?
Oh, you heard about her disappearance, I take it.
I found this pendant. Okay, I think it's her I'm supposed to show it to. First of all, I know who she was seeing. It was Ulpius.
Oh, really? That commoner in debt bondage next door thought he could win over a magistrate's daughter.
Well,
that's awfully bold
I
of
think he
him.
did.
I can see why she worked so hard to keep it a secret. Quick, go and find him and ask him what he knows.
Well, I've spoken to him already. He's beside himself about her disappearance. I don't think he's responsible.
Oh, I see. Well, it was worth a try, I suppose. Just promise me you won't give up on her.
Alright, I promise.
Thank you.
But I also found a pendant next to a skeleton, so I think she might be dead.
Oh. Oh.
Found this pendant in the cistern. Any idea whose it was?
Oh no. That's Scintilla's. The question is, what was it doing in the cistern?
I found it around the neck of a skeleton.
A skeleton? Oh god. You mean she's...
Unfortunately, yes, I'm sorry. I don't know, something about it doesn't seem right to me. Would she be a skeleton already after such little time? I think the skeleton was also missing its arms. Maybe it was just made to look like she was dead, but she actually wasn't? I don't know.
That's it then. My little sister is dead. She just left her room one night, walked down into the cistern and died.
I'm afraid so.
All this time, we've been searching for her. And she was already gone. I think it's best if this stays between us for now. I'll tell the others tomorrow, once election day is over.
You won't get a chance.
Now. Thank you.
Wait, why did it look like you gave me something? I do think there's probably more to it, but I guess we'll have to try and tell her something different in the next cycle. How would I get a bow? Could I ask Virgil to make me one? Like, Decius is already asking him for a bow, right? Maybe for me he would be willing to make me one? Oh, look at that, he's actually washing the...
Stay away from that empty shrine. It's going to collapse at any moment.
That's progress.
Ah, you again. See you around.
Okay, nothing new to say.
Welcome back. Nice to talk.
So you can't make me a bow. I guess I'm just supposed to find one already made somewhere. There has to be one somewhere in town. Okay, I could try to confront the assassin and try to lie to him.
What?
Just try and explore different dialogue choices with this guy.
Stop right there. I am looking for Tiberius
Quintius Crispus.
Otherwise known as Quinctius. Do you...
It doesn't matter what I say, you're going to try to kill me anyway. I saw him worshipping in a small round shrine inside the city. We could send him there and then he would die crushed by the shrine.
Thank you. For your service to the Empire, I'll let you live for now. But you'd best make sure...
Oh, I didn't even think to do that. That is very creative. You're not gonna kill me? Oh, that's gonna be very funny. And then I could steal his bow. No, go ahead. It's right there on the left. He's hiding right in there. That's so funny. He's right in there. Just check it out, dude. Right there on your left. Oh, he's gonna see the sign. Nah, he's too stupid. Figure out how to neutralize him. Oh! Okay, I was gonna say maybe he managed to escape. Nope. And we get his bow. A finely crafted composite bow. Hell yeah, that's mine now. Bounty notice. By order of Emperor Nero, all loyal sons of Rome are ordered to hunt and execute the arsonist and murderer Tiberius Quintius Crispus, a citizen from the Aventine district of Rome. He's about 40 to 50 years old. He is average height, average build, has dark hair, one green eye and one blue eye. Typically clean-shaven, a known associate of cultists and suffers from delusions of... Haven't I already met someone with 2 different colored eyes? That sounds familiar. 10 fletched arrows. Find Quinctius, the man with 1 green eye and 1 blue eye. And 1 denarius. That's hilarious that we can kill him this way. Which means I can now check out the bats. Is this how you get in the cistern? Fancy place. Pretty fancy. A godlike figure turning a man into gold. Right, this is the entrance. This is how we first got in the city in the other timeline. Yeah, this leads to the entrance. Right. Some rope. Anything down there? Doesn't really seem like it. Right, yeah, they all fell from here. That's how everyone got to the city. Okay. Doesn't seem to be anything down here. Okay, interesting. You think they would have a guard here to watch out for like any new people getting here? But no, because they all got here like around 7 months ago. So I guess there wouldn't be any new ones. Okay, well, we now have a bow. But can we equip it like any time? Finely crafted composite bow. How would I equip it? Oh. Okay, now we can kill people. Damn. Okay. Could I try and kill this statue in the tunnels? Would an arrow even be enough to kill it?
Oh my! I've never seen a lamp like that. Praise Apollo.
I'm not sure. What if I just kill this guy? What would happen during the election if this guy is dead? Alright, so what if I go in there and try to kill this creature? Or would it break the golden rule if I killed someone, even though they're like a golden statue? Okay, where are you? Don't sneak up on me. Where are you? I know you're in here. I know you're in here somewhere. You don't scare me, I just don't want you to like rush me out of nowhere. Peeled statue. Oh, you're there. I see you. Still stuck in the wall. Oh, maybe they can't die. Oh, no, they're dead. Okay, that didn't break the rules. But I can't loot the body either. Okay. Well, that doesn't really help me. All that tells me is that it can die. Let's take a closer look at this skeleton. It's missing its arms. Okay, no, the arms are next to it. She's looking at a plate of someone. Like, we don't really have any way to know that it's her for sure. Like, we just know she owned this pendant and typically never took it off. So, I mean, it's a pretty good guess that it is her. I also need to know how I can climb these vines. How could I make myself lighter? How long would this person need to be down here before they would turn into this? Like, who peeled the gold from their body to make them like this? It's pretty freaky. Okay, there's nothing else to be learned down here, I guess. Another thing we could do... Okay, I could talk to Sentius again. Tell him I did what you asked. I killed the assassin.
The future. We'll speak again after you've carried out my order.
I have. He had the tragic accident in that shrine.
Ah, I see. Well, if you stopped one person from breaking it and you're still here, then there must be someone else about to break it still.
Okay, what if I tell you that it's Domitius's fault, so that you give me the permission to kill him, and then I can try killing him and see what happens then. See if truly you dictate the rules, which I'm pretty sure you don't, but like, we could confirm the theory.
Of course, what is it? Yeah.
It's Domitius.
Why do you say that? Thank you for bringing this to my attention.
It's him, I'm sure, this time.
Well then, in that case, as much as it pains me to do so, I must act decisively.
You're going to ask me to kill him.
Of my people. As magistrate, I hereby declare him an enemy of Rome.
Alright, I'll take care of it again.
Thank you. Please act quickly before it's too late.
And I feel like it's just going to break the rule. You're not supposed to kill anyone, including people he considers an enemy of Rome. Let's see.
The many
Yep.
shall suffer for the sins
Oh,
of
we got the
one.
key though. We got the key to the villa from him. Nice. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, they are. Ooh. Okay, let's follow Sentius out of here. Oh, I didn't even think about the fact he would have the key on him. You know what? Actually, that's great. That works for me. Now we get to go inside the villa. 2 birds, 1 stone. Instant death. No items. I did not even think about the fact that killing people, you could then search their body and steal their stuff. See, I feel like that's it's kind of an unavoidable aspect of time loop stories. By their very nature, I feel like they always lead to you kind of losing some of your humanity, right? If you think about, you know, the movie Groundhog Day, or even like something like Undertale, which I don't really want to talk about too much because I don't want to spoil it, just in case anyone hasn't played it, but let's say you're stuck reliving the same day over and over and over again. Of course, at first you're going to try, you know, all the options. You're going to try to talk to everyone, try to maybe solve their problems, try to befriend everyone. But then as you keep reliving the same day over and over and over again, like all these people around you that are real people, they kind of start becoming less, you know, they start kind of losing their value. They start becoming more like just pieces on a chessboard to you, you know, like just toys to play around with, because you know you can just reset the timeline and just try something different. So like they lose a lot of their agency, like their free will kind of loses any value because you realize they don't really have any. You can just reset the day, and then eventually I feel like even their lives kind of lose value to you. Because, you know, even me, here I am, I'm playing this game. During the first few cycles, you're like, well, let me try and get to know everyone. Let me try to help everyone. But then after a few cycles, you're like, well, what if I kill this guy? And then I could like steal his stuff, you know? It's like, you can't really help but start feeling this way, I think. I think it would truly be the case for someone who, say, is stuck in this world for years or decades, you know? You would befriend everyone, you would fall in love with everyone, you would also become everyone's enemy, you would maybe try killing everyone, like you would try everything that is available to you. And it's kind of like an interesting parallel to the notion of just being a player, which is actually something that Undertale explores really well with the, you know, with the pacifist route and the genocide route. Because as players, we always want to see everything that is possible to do in a game, right? Like we've all played Majora's Mask and let me try and follow this character for the whole 3 days, see what they do. Or if you play like an immersive sim, like a Dishonored or like a Cyberpunk even, you're gonna try maybe saving just before a dialogue choice, telling someone something, then reloading, seeing what the other choice is, because, you know, we want to experience everything the game has to offer. So if you were stuck in this situation in a time loop, you would kind of deal with life the same way a player deals with a game. I'm just going to try and experience everything that life has to offer, even maybe the bad things, you know? I'm going to try to help everyone, but then maybe I'm going to try and kill everyone, like see what happens there. I truly feel like you would lose... I truly feel like you would lose your humanity. Am I wrong about that? I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd be interested to discuss it.
Salve, friend. Might...
I need you to take care of some things urgently.
Oh, sounds serious. I'm listening.
Yulia's dying, but Lucretia can help her without this Silphium. Take some of it and go quickly. Rufius has been threatening Virgil, but if you give him some of this willow bark, it will treat his rheumatism and he'll settle down. I need you to stop Fabio entering the empty shrine and tell the new arrival he'll find what he's looking... Oh, interesting. You can delegate Galerius to go and do all these things for you. Also, does this mean I have all the Silphium now? Like I have an infinite amount of it for the rest of the game? Huh, how interesting. I'm going to test it by picking this one.
Yulia? Oh no. Alright, I can do that.
You can do all of them.
Poor Virgil. Poor Rufius too, I guess. Alright, got it. Alright, let me see. Stop Fabia going in
He's
and
like-
send the new arrival to the empty shrine. Understood.
That's it. Now go as fast as you can.
I'll go. But once I'm done, I'll need you to tell me how you know all of this.
That's so funny that you get... Whoa. And he's a fast runner too. Let's follow him and see if he really does it.
The 49
Maybe just by
Beledies
doing this,
fetch
people are going to be
again.
like, "Ah, Galerius, you're so great. You're solving everyone's problems." Oh, let me check. Do I still have the Silphium? I do still have the Silphium because I guess it's a big bottle of it. So, all right, we don't need to. Once you stole it once, you don't need to steal it or pay for it again. You just have it forever.
There's a troublemaker coming into the city.
I know, and I'll take care of him. Just go and hide, but not in the empty shrine.
Wait, how did you know I was headed in there?
No time to explain.
You there?
Go!
I'm sorry to trouble you, but I couldn't help but notice that fine bow you're carrying.
Oh, you want it,
Dear
huh?
how you managed to get your hands on it, especially in the light of our dear old magistrate's ban. But I'm impressed.
I don't have time to talk to you. I
Before
was
you
following
ask,
the other
no,
guy.
I wouldn't dream of trying to buy it from you. I have no use for a wooden bow myself. But I would like to propose a joint business venture of sorts.
Go on.
Tell me, do you have any idea how people here end up as golden statues?
The statues come to life and fire golden bows, arrows at them, yeah.
And here I was thinking I was the only one to figure it out.
How do you know that?
In any case,
Look at him go in the
supposedly,
background.
one or two of those arrows is enough to turn a full-grown man into gold. Now, of course, that is a travesty, a terrible, horrible waste of human life, which has
Where are
to
you
be
going
stopped.
with this?
And yet, on the other hand, I can't help but think of a tale told by that Greek fella Aesop, the goose that laid the golden egg, with the ability to transmute organic matter into gold.
The guy dying in this shrine.
Insects, trees, and plants. The Midas touch without the drawbacks. We are talking riches.
What are you
beyond
talking
imagining.
about?
And even if we were to split all those riches between the two of us, half of infinite wealth is still infinite. Interested?
Wait, but what do you mean turn things to gold? I think the golden goose is meant to be a cautionary tale.
Look, I might have skimmed over that one, but don't be so pedantic. Are you interested or not?
That sounds grossly unethical. How does me having a bow allow me to turn things to gold?
Excellent. So the first question is, how do we get our hands on one of those golden bows? Now, I have a plan, but first, tell me, are you familiar with the story of the goddess Diana?
Diana? I am not. Who is this goddess? What is she the goddess of? Not really.
No problem. Allow me to explain. Diana is our goddess of the hunt, the moon,
Hunt, moon, and the underworld.
Depending on who you ask. The one thing priests and poets agree on is that she carried with her a golden bow and a quiver of golden arrows. And it just so happens that there is a shrine of Diana in this very forum, with a prominent statue of the goddess
Really?
herself. And would you like to guess what she's holding in her hand?
A golden bow?
Precisely. I can't tell you how many hours I've spent in that temple staring at it, trying to figure out how to retrieve it without breaking you know what.
But you want me to steal it?
Oh, gods no. If you tried that, we'd all be dead within moments, I'm sure. No, here's what I propose. You give your bow to me, I cover it in a thin layer of gold leaf, and we create a replica of a golden bow. Then you enter the shrine, extinguish the braziers, and under cover of darkness, swap out the fake for the original. It's not theft.
You're so
exactly, it's more of
sneaky.
a
That would not work.
trade. But make no mistake, this is a dangerous path, and there's no way of knowing where it will lead. But in my experience, all the best adventures begin with a risky first step. Now, you must have questions. Ask away.
I don't want to do this, but now that I know there is a golden bow, I am kind of interested in trying to get it. Why can't I just take it?
Because the gods would see you, of course. Hence my proposal.
You really think you can trick the gods? Why can't you do it yourself?
I'm more of an ideas man, whereas you're obviously the more resourceful and heroic type. I have complete confidence in you.
Isn't that extremely dangerous?
When Prometheus stole fire from the gods and became a hero to all mankind, do you think he was worried about the danger?
Yes. archaeologist inside Prometheus was also punished for eternity, if I recall correctly.
Only because he was silly enough to get caught.
Oh, okay. That's all the questions I had.
So, are you in, partner?
Alright, I'll do it. I'll do it, but don't ever call me partner. I'm going to pass. I don't want you to cover my bow in, like... If you don't like action or horror elements, feel free to Whoa, excuse me? If you don't like action or horror elements, feel free to decline? I don't.
Are you sure? Last chance? Ugh, fine. Stay poor and ignorant forever then.
Horror elements? What do you mean? I mean, I guess we'll do it at some point, but... Huh. Okay, it is really funny that you can just send Galerius to do all this stuff for you. And it's actually a really clever way to solve the problem of, like, not having the player redo all these side quests like every single cycle, right? That would be so annoying to do over and over again. So they actually found a very clever way around it, where you could just get to the entrance, you tell Galerius, all right, here's all the things you need to do, and then he just runs and do it, and you get to focus on other things while maintaining your new state of the world that you got by doing these side quests in previous cycles. It's actually very, very smart. And so now we have another bow. So we have 2 bow, another bounty notice, another 10 arrows, and 1 gold. It would be nice if you had more gold on him, but, you know. So I think the temple he's talking about is this one, right? Okay, it's not this one because she doesn't have a golden bow, but like... Which temple has Greek statue of a woman? This is the one that leads underground. I'm so curious about this. If you don't like horror elements, how would this lead to the game having horror elements? Huh.
Wonder how much one of these statues is worth on the house.
Wait, so now I have 2 bows? I have 2 bows. That's very funny. I have the key to the villa now. But Malleolus might stop me if he sees me trying to get inside. What is this temple? It's locked. And then the girl would still be alive. But I don't have enough money to save both their lives yet, so I'm gonna have to keep getting the money from the chests until that actually happens. This is all pretty funny, the way all these elements are interconnected. Wait, so like, is the implication that you can shoot these? So because there's like a creature in the, not the sewers, the cistern, that means all these golden statues have like something alive in them, right? I still don't know if all the statues look at me specifically because I'm from the future, or if they do that to everyone and like they just don't really notice it. I feel like someone would have noticed that the statues like turn to look at you. You get this golden bow and suddenly the game turns into like a horror game where you just need to shoot everyone. I don't know. Oh, you can go upstairs here. Coin pouch. I wonder how much money is in there. Sculpture of Minerva, the Roman goddess of strategy. Alright, well, we have the key to Malleolus's villa, so let's get inside and talk to him. Even though we might get stopped by his servant. Aha! Warming up for speech. The locked villa. There's a lot of other locked doors. Produce bowl. A vase depicting some kind of battle. Doesn't look like he noticed me getting in here. A Greek sculpture of a young boy's head. A note from Ulpius. Right, that's the guy who kills himself. Ulpius, to his lost love, may God watch over you. Please know that I held on as long as I could, but without you, my life is meaningless. I only hope we meet again in Gan Eden. Ulpius laments his lost love. Right, that's his room. Because they are like servants. Yulia. Yulia, to her captors Malleolus and Claudia, curse you to the depths. By the time you read this, I'll already be dead, because death is preferable to another day in debt bondage to you. May vultures peck out your livers in Tartarus for all of eternity. Not bad, not bad. Right, I forgot the wife is also here. Produce bowl. No chests in here. She might be upstairs. Ares, the god of war. Is that Claudia? Oh, it's... Oh. I was gonna say it's Slug, but it's not. Hello? Are you Claudia?
I'm not supposed to be in here.
I know, where do you keep your valuables? Why would you say that? Can we talk?
Talk? What business could you possibly have with me?
Why are you locked in this room? Yes, she was locked, so I was able to unlock the door because it's the same key as to enter the villa, I guess?
My marital affairs are no concern of yours. Thank you very
Okay, so that
much.
confirms your husband locked you in here. What's your story?
I think a better question is, why am I being interrogated by a stranger who just
That's
barged
fair.
into my villa? I have quite enough marriage trouble already, without having to explain to my husband why I am receiving strange men in private.
Do you know our way out of here?
Preferably the way you came in, by which I mean, please leave.
What do you think about the golden rule?
I think it's about to be broken if you don't hurry.
She's gonna
up
kill
and
you, dude.
leave.
Alright, I'll be going.
Finally! This is outrageous.
After looking around just a little bit. Malleolus' chest. Whoa! That's where he keeps all his money. Ah, with this we would have enough to save... We would have enough to save the 2 in the next cycle. We would have so much money. That's crazy. Okay, why is she locked in the room? Is this your kink? Like locking your wife in a room? Alright, Malleolus, it's a long time we talk. We're way overdue for a talk.
Domitius doesn't usually let anyone in here without a hefty tribute.
This
so
is
you must have been
Quintius.
desperate to see me. Well, what do you want?
You're Quintius. Okay, let's not open with that because he might refuse to talk to us if we say that. What's your story?
I'm Malleolus, and if it wasn't for this interruption, I'd be practicing my victory speech for the election later today.
And what will you do if you win?
I'm glad you asked. I'll finally restore freedom to this city, just as I've been promising. These good people have suffered long enough under Sentius's tyranny.
And how will you do that?
By declaring there's no such thing as the Golden Rule. It's a children's fable exploited by Sentius to frighten us into submission.
I can
Wait,
see why you would think
don't
that.
tell me you've fallen victim to that monstrous lie?
The golden rule is definitely real. What makes you sure it's not real?
The person making a claim bears the onus of proving that claim. Can you do that? Can you prove the Golden Rule is real?
I could, but then you wouldn't remember. The golden rule is definitely real.
Nonsense. There's no way you can prove that. If it was real and you'd seen someone break it, then you'd be dead already.
Oh, jeez. I'm reliving the same day over and over again. The golden rule is broken each time. I found a book called The Myth of the Golden Rule. Whoever wrote it obviously died because they refused to accept the golden rule. What would it take to prove to you it's real? Books? Notes? Even if I can't prove it, if I'm right, then accepting it will avert disaster. If I'm wrong, then accepting it will make the city a better place. Isn't that a good thing? These are all good answers. I assume he's not going to believe me if I say that, but let's try it.
What? Oh, I see what's happening here. Another poor, vulnerable soul taken in by Sentius's machinations. He won't get away with this much longer.
What if I found a book?
You mean that book next to a golden statue in the theater? Tell me, how do you know that statue wasn't put there by Sentius himself? You can't know, can you?
Yes, that's true.
Surely, you're not one of those people who believes everything you read. As if a lie could be transformed into the truth by the simple act of writing it down. I disagree. I'll be guided by what is best for the city's people, and that means giving them the freedom to do as they wish.
Even if that's stealing or killing someone? I can see nothing I say is going to convince you.
True, but that is simply because you are mistaken.
Okay. Do you know a way out of here?
I'm afraid not. We're stuck down here together, for better or worse. We're all going to have to make the best of it.
What do you think about it?
You mean the children's fable, exploited by Sentius to scare us all into doing what he wants?
I want you to withdraw from the election. So you're going... I feel like if I say that, he's just gonna say no. But then maybe if I reveal that I know this, he might accept getting out of the election.
Are you insane? You barge into my villa uninvited and then make outrageous demands? Why would I withdraw from an election I'm bound to win?
Because I'm asking nicely? Because as soon as... He's not gonna believe it. As soon as you win, you're going to break the golden rule.
Don't talk nonsense. There's no such thing as the golden rule.
You're going to arrest Sentius for treason and sentence him to death by gladiatorial combat. Right, that's true. Why would I know this if I didn't come from the future?
How could you possibly know that?
Because I know the future.
Nonsense! This is nonsense! I don't know how you know about my plans, but I'm absolutely sure Sentius is involved somehow. And now, I'm going to enjoy watching Domitius kill him even more.
This is gonna break the rule.
Now, get out of here!
No?
You outstayed your very limited welcome.
Okay, so just saying that he's going to enjoy seeing him die did not break the rule.
Get out of my villa before I have Domitius throw you out.
And now I can't tell him about him being Quinctius. Okay. Well, we could just go upstairs and steal the money, and then we'll have to somehow make it out without dying. Let's try that. But there's a lot of statues here that will shoot me once I do that.
The many shall
suffer for the sins of the one. See, you fool! You idiot! It is real. I wonder if I use my bow, if I could kill one of these. If I could kill one of these statues. I would have to try it. Can you hurt these statues? Okay, it doesn't hurt them. It does not hurt them. Now the problem is, if I give the money to Ulpius and Yulia, it's not like the other items I can give Galerius to solve the problems. I will lose this money forever, and I won't have it back in the next cycle, so maybe I should wait before doing this until I know for sure.
Salve. Oh. Yulia.
It's so funny that you can do this. I love that. Okay, this time let me actually follow you.
Fabia, listen.
There's a troublemaker coming into the city.
I know.
I
I'll
know.
take care of him. Just go and hide, but not in the empty shrine.
Look at that, he's coming for me.
How did you know I was headed
He comes
in
from
there?
you. He comes for you from so far away, like he knows you've got the bow. Leave me alone! Leave me alone!
You. Now I am.
Not
You're
interested.
not interested in amassing.
No.
Then food to you.
Bye.
Thank you. For your service to the Empire, I'll let you live for
His
now,
voice has
but
such
you best make
gravitas.
sure our paths don't cross again.
He's like, okay, whatever you say. And then he goes. Running to his next task. You're so dedicated.
Whatever's in that great temple up there on the bluff.
Lucretia, no time to explain. I'm supposed to give you the Sylphium resin for Yulia.
What? Quick, give it here. I'm just going to help her swallow this. I think she's going to be all right. Galerius, you're amazing. How did you know?
A little bird told me.
I was just doing what the new guy told me.
I don't understand. How did... Never mind. Thank you so much for acting as quickly as you did.
God, that scared me.
Places to be.
And there he goes. He's like, wait, where do I go to next? Did you forget? Oh, you're waiting for Rufius?
Salve, Rufius. I hear your rheumatism has you so riled up you've been harassing Virgil.
What?
He's like, what?
My condition is nobody's business but mine.
There's no need for that. I just wanted to give you this willow bark to help you treat it.
A treatment? Really? Thank God. Finally, some relief after all this time. Thank you, Galerius. You're a good man. And I'll be sure to leave Virgil alone. I know I haven't been at my best lately.
Appreciate that. Now, I've got to run.
To where? That's pretty much all I asked, isn't it? Oh.
Salve again, friend. I went and did as you asked, and it worked.
I know I'm magic.
How is it possible that you've just arrived here and you already know everyone and exactly what's about to happen to them?
You can probably figure that out yourself. I'm reliving the same day over and over again.
You're toying with me, right? Wait, you're not kidding, are you? That's the only way you could have known. You're a bit like... Oh, what was his name? Sisyphus. Yeah, that's the one.
Oh,
Old
I
King
thought you were going to talk
Sisyphus.
about the other guy.
Sisyphus was a Greek king a long time ago. For daring to think he could outsmart the gods, he was given a terrible punishment. He was forced to push a great boulder up to the top of a hill. Only, just as it reached the top, it would roll all the way back down to the bottom, forcing him to start over and over and over again for all eternity. Just like you. Actually,
Nah, I'm
now
only
that I
going to do
think
this for
about it,
8 to
there
10
are a bunch of
hours.
old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over.
Yeah, I guess it is pretty
Tantalus was
fitting
made
for
to
this
grasp
game.
at fruit on a tree he could never quite reach. The Bellides had to keep fetching water in a sieve. Oh, and Ixion was strapped to a wheel going round and round forever. But on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were.
Or am I?
I don't know which god you managed to upset to get yourself into this position, friend, but you seem all right to me. So, I'll tell you what. I'll keep doing whatever I can to help you. And you just focus on finding a way to break the cycle you're in.
You're such a nice guy. You're a good man, Galerius.
Oh, that's kind of you to say. Now, I'm going to keep your secret. Although, it's not as if I'll remember this next time we talk anyway, right?
Indeed.
Oh, and if our conversations ever start to annoy you, just tell me you're busy. I know when I'm not wanted. May fortune smile on you, friend.
You're so understanding, Galerius. You're such a nice guy. Alright, we need to talk to Malleolus again, but this time tell him that he's Quinctius.
Thank you. Thank you. I am. Domitius doesn't usually let anyone in here without a hefty tribute, so.
So you're Quinctius.
My name is Marcus Malleolus Gurgis. You seem to have confused me with someone else.
Find evidence. You have one green eye, one blue eye, just like the description in this execution order from Emperor Nero.
You mean my heterochromia? I am guilty of nothing more than having different colored eyes. And I'm hardly the only person with the condition. Alexander the Great had it too, as it happens. I like to think it is simply the way the gods have chosen to mark a natural-born ruler. Nothing more.
Okay. I can't prove it's you yet, but I will. Apparently Quinctius also suffers from delusions of grandeur.
Well, I am not suffering from any delusions, as today's election will firmly establish.
Fair enough. Can't prove it's you yet, but I will.
Unlikely, because it simply isn't true. Now, was there something else you wanted?
Then why did you react like that when I told you? What if I tell him I'm going to kill him if he doesn't? I feel like threatening someone with death would probably break the golden rule, so...
I trust you can see yourself out.
Sure. How could I talk to his wife without her, like, freaking out? Because she might have the information.
You're not supposed to be... Talk.
How would you like some help getting back at Malleolus?
An intriguing proposition. Go on.
So you do want to get back at him. I don't think Malleolus is who he says he is.
Perhaps you're not as silly as those clothes make you look. What makes you say that?
Just a hunch. I was hoping we could figure out his true identity together.
You know, I may have the very thing you're looking for. Some time ago, when he still cared for me, he wrote me a love letter. Only, he used the wrong name. Now, addressing one's wife by the wrong name is not unheard of among philandering Romans. But in this case, the name he got wrong was his
Caught
own.
red-handed.
I confronted him about it, and he stammered through some incoherent response. I let it go, eventually, and yet questions have lingered in the back of my mind ever since. But wait a minute. Why exactly are you helping me?
You know, I was wondering, what if I told the assassin that he's Quinctius, but then the assassin would come here, try to kill him, and that would break the golden rule, so that wouldn't really help me, but I'm kind of curious to see what would happen if I did. I want to force him to withdraw from the election. I just hate to see such a beautiful woman treated so poorly. I'd rather not say. I don't know what she would react better to. If I say that, she might not like it, because I'm sure she would like to be the magistrate's wife. Right? Like, that would mean she would also kind of be in power. But if I say that, she might also take it poorly, unless she's very vain, in which case maybe she would appreciate it. I guess we could just try them all.
To withdraw? Listen, I may not be Penelope to his Ulysses, but to ruin his plans to become a magistrate? You must think me quite mad. I've heard enough.
Yeah, that's
Get
what I
out of
figured.
here at once.
I had to try it.
Demetrius, come quickly. We're being robbed.
What the? You gonna snitch on me? Is he actually coming? Alright, I'll leave. I'll see myself out. We'll have to try something different next time. But the assassin is already dead, so I can't tell him. Oh, I can try and save. Well, I do have the money. But if I save their lives with the 2,000,
Isn't the great temple majestic?
it's only going to save them for this one time, right? Unless only the fact that I have the money maybe is enough to convince them. Okay, he hasn't died yet. Let me go talk to him. Is this what Scintilla would want?
No. Well, you don't. If
Lucressa was able to get some silphium in time to save her life. She's going to be fine.
Really? But we're still in debt.
Unless you happen to have 2,000 denarii to pay off both our debts. Actually, I do.
Really? Wait. So, I guess you'd want me to work for you then?
Not really. You'd be free.
You'd do that for us? A couple of complete strangers?
Yeah. Of course.
It seems today we're both blessed. This did not turn out how I thought. Thank you, friend. I never thought people like you existed.
Save Ulpius's life. Okay, I got the achievement, but how will I do this in other cycles without having the money? Here's your money.
Thank you. I'll go and pay off our debts immediately. I just wish there was some way I could repay you. But I have nothing but the tunic
That's
on my
okay.
back.
You could tell me about your relationship with Scintilla.
Ah. And there it is.
Come on, you owe me that.
All right. Scintilla and I were in love. And then, 22 days ago...
22 days ago.
She went missing.
I have a feeling maybe someone killed her because they didn't want her to end up with him. Why don't you start from the beginning?
All right. One night a few months ago, when I was cleaning Malleolis's villa, I heard a young woman singing. It was the most beautiful thing I had ever heard. I wasn't allowed out, so once everyone else was asleep, I climbed up the inside of the villa and onto the roof, just to see where that sound was coming from. And that's when I saw her. Standing in the garden of the magistrate's villa, I just sat there on the roof, listening to her with my chin on my knees. And for the first time in a long time, I felt hopeful. And then she looked up and saw me and she smiled. I knew at that moment the fates had brought me to her. And from the moment she asked my name with this warmth and curiosity, I knew I'd have done anything for her. And so for weeks on end, each night I'd climb out of the villa and into her father's garden. We'd hold hands and talk about all the things we'd do once we got out of here. Like having our own vineyard. And then one morning I woke up and everyone was out searching for her.
Someone must have found out about them.
In the night. All I could do was keep my head down and try to hide how beside myself I was. Scintilla was the one thing that made my life bearable. But with her gone, things unraveled quickly. You saw how bad it got.
I probably shouldn't tell him about how... if I tell him about how she died, what if he kills himself? Is it possible she escaped somehow?
All I know is she loved me. And if she had known a way out, she would have told me. She'd never have taken her own life. And there's no way...
Yeah, that's true. Someone killed her. It would have broken the rule, so... Was it really just an accident?
I just know she's still alive, somehow. Even now, it's as if I can hear her voice in my head, crying out to me. That can only mean one thing. Somebody abducted her. I have no idea how, or who would want to do something like that to such a sweet, lovely girl. But what else could have happened?
True. Maybe they didn't kill her, but maybe they abducted her, locked her in the cistern, and then she died from Somebody like you? I don't think it's him. If someone abducted her, locked her in the cistern, and either she died from starvation or she got killed by that weird statue thing, then maybe that didn't break the rule. Any ideas about who might have taken her?
My guess? Malleolus had something to do with it. He is without doubt the most evil man I have ever known. I have no idea where he'd be keeping her, but there is one room in his villa, upstairs, which is always locked.
Yeah, no, that's his wife.
I've never seen the inside of it, and I haven't been able to steal a key without breaking the golden rule. But I have a feeling that if you could get in there somehow, it would shed light on a great many things.
Not really, sadly. I've already tried that. No sign of Scintilla in there.
Oh, I see. That was the only idea I had. I'll give it some more thought. Come and find me a little later. I'll go and take care of things with Malleolus and tell Yulia the good news. Thanks again, friend. I'll never forget what you did for us.
Oh, I didn't get to tell him that Scintilla is dead, which is probably for the best. I don't think he would take it well. We'll have to try that another time, I guess. I will definitely follow him because I want to see these conversations he's gonna have. Is this voice I hear, is that the voice of Scintilla that he's talking about? Like, he's like, oh, I can still hear her voice. Is that it? But yeah, I don't know how you resolve this thing in the future versions.
Welcome.
Whoa!
Citizen.
In the future cycles, where are you going?
Greetings and salutations.
I don't think you're going in the right place. Okay, you took a little detour there.
Welcome.
Yulia! I'm so glad you didn't go through with it.
It wasn't for lack of trying. And now Malleolus is going to... Wait. Why do you look so happy?
We're free. Malleolus just released us and
Well, you haven't talked to him yet.
In that villa again.
What? How?
The newcomer arranged it somehow.
Really? That's... incredible. Oh, what a relief. I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything. Just rest up, get your strength back, and we'll celebrate properly when you're ready.
I will. Thank you, Ulpius. I will.
Okay, and then where do you go? She's going over there. And you're gonna go talk to Malleolus?
Keep an eye out for Scintilla, would you?
It's funny that he would tell Yulia this before actually talking to Malleolus. Like, what if Malleolus refuses somehow? No? You're just gonna turn back? Where are you going?
Shalom.
Okay, we can talk to him about all these things, true. Now that he hasn't killed himself, we get to talk to him more, but then I'm gonna have to tell him. What's your story?
You mean where am I from and all that? Judea, originally. But when I was a child, I moved to Rome with my family, Romanized my name and spent most of my life in the Jewish district of Trans-Tiberim, across the Tiber from the main city. That's where I was when the fires broke out. Everyone was running toward the river and I, listening to my inner contrarian, ran the other way. Every road leading out of Rome was in chaos, full of people with all their belongings in carts and brigands preying on them. Several hours down the Appian Way, I saw another Jewish family being attacked by 3 opportunists. So I picked up a branch from the side of the road and went to defend them. I can only assume they got the better of me because the next thing I knew, I was waking up in a forest, by a river not far from here, with no memory of how I got there. It's strange though, because I still had my purse on me. Why would a robber knock me unconscious and throw me in a river, but not take my coins?
That's weird. That's one of the strangest origin stories. Good on you for risking your life to help, unless he's lying. That's odd. Most of the others were in Rome before they woke up in the forest, but you're saying you were several hours away?
You're right. I always just assumed the river carried me, but I'm not sure I was anywhere near the Tiber when I fell. I'm sure it'll all make sense if we ever get out of here.
Unless you're lying. Do you know a way out of here?
I don't. But even if I did, I'm not going anywhere. I have unfinished business.
What do you think about the golden rule?
Well, neither of us have a couple of hours to stand around talking about theology, law, and collective punishment, so I guess you're looking for a pithy summary? You remind me of an old story from my people about Hillel the Elder. He was approached by a Gentile and asked to explain the entire Torah while he stood on one foot. Obliging, he replied, "What is hateful to you, do not do to another. That is the whole Torah. The rest is commentary. Go and learn."
I mean, that's not bad.
Of course. What I want to know is, what kind of a god sees a young woman abducted and does nothing about it? Not my god. That's for sure.
The gods don't really intervene in our affairs. We don't know she was abducted for sure.
Maybe you don't. I feel it in my bones.
Based on nothing. Who are you going to vote for?
Sentius, I suppose. I'd have to be insane to vote for Malleolus after what he did to me.
Of course. Fair enough. Sorry to be the one to tell you this, but I found her amulet on a skeleton in the cistern.
A skeleton? You're saying she's... No. I don't believe that.
I'm sorry, she's dead.
You can believe that if you want, but I'm never going to stop looking for her. With or without your help.
Alright. Fair enough.
Alright, friend. Thanks for the chat.
But I found her pendant though, so... Alright. Do we have anything to say to Sentius?
We're finally alone.
I broke it.
You broke it? Why in Pluto's name would you do that?
It was necessary. I executed a suspect on your order. I just wanted to see what would happen. I was trying to save someone's life.
And it broke the golden rule? I see. Well, I'm sorry to say this, but it sounds like you must have chosen the wrong
I think it's more that you don't get to decide this. But you think killing someone else will lead to a different result? I've killed all the suspects I can think of. I'm not sure doing it again is going to work. Okay, I haven't really, but that's probably what's going to happen.
Of course. We must trust in the wisdom of the gods and their ability to discern right from wrong. Our cause is virtuous, and we will prevail this time. Look, it's unfortunate, but all that matters now is that you make use of what you've learned and gathered, and do better next time.
I guess so.
I assume you sought me out again for a reason.
Oh. A skeleton.
Something about it doesn't seem right to me.
What do you mean?
I'm just not sure how she could have been reduced to a skeleton after only 3 weeks. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
But didn't Domitius say there's some kind of creature down there that killed and ate Hannibal? Could it not have attacked her too?
True. He did, which makes me wonder, what if the skeleton was Hannibal?
What are you saying? That somebody crept down there and put Centilla's amulet on another body to make us think she was
Maybe
dead?
she did that
Why would
to make it
anyone
seem
do
like
such
she
a thing?
disappeared. Perhaps they abducted her and want us to stop looking for her. I think she did it herself to make us all stop looking for her. Yeah.
What? You don't know her at all. She would never do such a thing. And even if she did, where is she now?
I'm still looking.
So this is just baseless speculation then?
Pretty
I've
much.
heard enough.
I won't have you peddling scurrilous gossip about my sister's tragic death. Kindly keep your insane conspiracy theories to yourself and leave me alone to grieve, you barbarian. Let me grieve my...
Okay, and then she doesn't want to talk to you anymore. I mean, yeah, now that I think about it, that makes a lot of sense. She could have put her own pendant on Hannibal's skeleton, because there's no way she would have been reduced to a skeleton in such a short time. Like, she would have to be down there for years. But it's only been 22 days. That's not enough to be a skeleton, even if she was eaten, you know? So, I don't know, there's more to this. There is more to this for sure. We could confront this damn door. I really want to get back there, but I need to move this damn statue. Let's have a talk with the woman in the tavern.
Cerberus lifts his triple head. And
Do you have
lets
anything you
out
need to
his
say?
threefold braying.
Livia, would you stop muttering like Medea over a cauldron? You'll scare away my customers.
What
They
customers?
follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, but they are ignorant.
This again. You're in a world of your own, aren't you?
Just as the ocean, but it...
Can you tell me about the pattern you saw?
You think you wish to know, but you do not. It is better for you if you remain ignorant. Pandora's box must stay closed. I'll say no more. The newly arrived.
Okay, she doesn't want to talk.
Handsome. Ah, you're here. And, I hope I'm not being too... There's a light in...
Don't waste your breath. I know you're a horrible person. Not interested, sorry.
Oh, I see. You prefer the company of men. Maybe you should go and make friends with
Wow.
Virgil instead.
Instantly
I'll
turns
take
on
back
you.
what I said. Suddenly, I don't find you so intriguing anymore. Let's just forget that ever happened, so we can at least do business. You know, no.
That's cute, but seriously, do you know a way out?
Straight to business, huh? I can work with that. As a matter of fact, I do know a way out. I'm happy to tell you all about it, but... So, how badly do you want it?
Not interested. I know it's a scam.
Ha! It's hardly my fault if people misunderstand the terms of a deal. I mean, it does say, let the buyer beware, right outside my tavern.
And you think that excuses anything? Huh. Okay, we can't tell her
All right.
anything else.
See ya.
Wait, Galerius revealed himself to be an angry man with a history of crime and extreme violence? I don't know if I would say that. The common thread. Tell Equidia, some people mentioned a memory lapse, a stranger, a coin. True, true. Let's go talk to Equidia. And let's try the zip line. Whee! Nice. Equidia!
Isn't the great temple majestic? A new face. Ave, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
I've been asking people about how they wound up here, trying to find a pattern.
I'm not sure why you're telling me, but you've come to the right person. Did you find a pattern then? What have you noticed?
Some people mentioned a coin.
Yes, I suppose that could be something. But then most of us do tend to carry coins on our person, don't we?
I don't remember that
else?
many of them mentioning a coin. Some people mentioned a memory lapse.
That's true. I know.
Yeah.
I wasn't entirely sure how I wound up here. What else?
I don't remember that many of them mentioning a coin. Some people mentioned a memory lapse.
I wasn't entirely sure how I wound up here. What else?
an encounter with a stranger on the riverbank.
Yes, I also had such an encounter. It's as I feared. I think I understand what poor Livia has been going through. Let me ask you this. Did you happen to encounter a stranger in the forest before you arrived here?
I did, a young woman.
And did you happen to catch her name?
Karen.
I see. And was this Karen by any chance wearing a hood?
Yes. She was wearing a hoodie. How could you have known that?
Because I've seen her before.
Yeah.
There's something I think you should see. I think you'd better follow me to the baths.
Oh, it's the picture we saw at the bottom of the bats, like that hooded figure offering a coin. She's just luring people here.
Don't follow too closely. We can't have people thinking we're bathing together.
Okay, sure. Tap E to follow your guide. Ooh. What if I follow you? What if I follow you closely? Maybe I want people to think that, Equidia. Alright, so Karen was full of shit. Karen is a demon in disguise, or maybe a god in disguise. Surprising that Decius never comes here to take this guy's bow. So I wonder what happens if she comes running here while the assassin is still here. Like, you would think they would have a conversation, right? I'm gonna take a bath with Equidia. It is as I thought. There it is. There's Karen offering people a coin.
All right, you're here. You were asking how I knew the young woman you met by the river was wearing a hood. Here.
I even pointed it out in the first episode. I was like, oh, are you in Organization 13?
If only we could see. Oh, what a marvelous lamp. But do you see it? Somebody waking up by a river in a forest to find a hooded figure with a coin. It's just as you described it, only your pronunciation is a little off. The name you heard wasn't Karen.
Curthy.
It was C-H-A-R-O-N, as in Charon, the ferryman of the dead. Charon, who in exchange for the right coin, helps the souls of the newly deceased cross the Styx, the river that separates the land of the living from the land of the dead.
I should have totally figured that out.
Never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, but all I found was some loose change.
Right, she mentioned the loose change.
Dead-end job with an endless commute. Sorry if I sounded cagey. It's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself.
Did she really say Karen?
My name's Karen.
There are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. But on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld.
Also, I'm just now realizing, is that the voice of Gale from Baldur's Gate? And in here he's called Galerius?
I take it you know what this means.
She was even upfront about it. She said Karen. But because it's pronounced the same way, we thought it was Karen. That's so silly. But also it makes so much sense. I should have seen that fucking coming. Ugh. Like, I knew she was involved somehow since the previous episode. Like, I knew she must have been involved because everyone mentioned, like, talking to a strange woman before ending up here. She mentioned, like, the endless commute, of course. I thought this was more like Greek mythology, though, Karen and, like, Tartarus and stuff. But I guess Greek and Roman mythology is all kind of, like, the same. Just some of the names are different.
At least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were.
Or am I? This place is the underworld?
I'm afraid so. It's all starting to make sense. All these people.
Discover underworld
whose last
icon
memory was
Sisyphus.
running from the fires toward the river. It seems none of them escaped with their lives after all. Perhaps we should be grateful they don't remember their final moments. It also tells us that the Golden Rule is the work of Pluto, the god of the underworld. And while his epithet has always been Father of Riches, I know it's a lot to take
So
in.
it's
And you
Hades.
look as if you have questions, so I'll try to answer them if I can.
So we all died. All these people drowned in the river Tiber. Yeah, everyone is dead. That's why we're in the underworld. But then, why do we also turn into gold statues? Like, they basically have a life down here. And then also, what about the guy we followed in here? The guy that hanged himself after spending a lifetime here. So that means I can never leave because we're all dead. We would need to escape the underworld. Oh my god. So we're dead.
That was my first thought too. In the old stories, the underworld was
Now
where
I know the
souls
name
the
of the person,
deceased were
of the
taken.
god responsible.
But it was also possible for the living to reach it without dying, if they were particularly fearless.
Oh.
So I'm
maybe I
afraid
am
I
still
don't know.
alive. What can you tell me about Karen?
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting you're not from here. If you were Roman, or even Greek, you would know these stories. Each of them is slightly different, whether the storyteller was Plato, Homer, Virgil, or Ovid. But they always involved the souls of the dead, meeting a grim ferryman named
I should have
Charon
fucking
on the
known.
bank of a
It's a
river.
Roman city.
It
You
was
meet her
said
next to a
that he'd
river.
helped the new arrival cross, only if they could pay him with a coin, an obol. That's why it was once our custom to bury our loved ones with a coin in their mouths.
Yeah.
Charon's obol, we called it. Of course, an obol was a kind of Greek coin, because we inherited this knowledge from the Greeks.
Why didn't you all recognize Karen immediately?
To be fair, the ferryman isn't exactly as the poets described, and he, she, they seem to appear to different people in different
Right,
guises.
yeah.
You say you saw a young woman named Karen with a hood, and I once heard Kabash mention a stranger in a ram headdress
Yeah.
named Kerti. And Rufius described meeting a stranger named Kumut Tabal wearing an eagle headdress. But whatever form this stranger took, they were always wearing a hood of some sort, and their name always began with a K sound. I suspect the only way you'll solve this riddle is if your paths cross again.
So, the statue of Sisyphus that we saw, is that the real Sisyphus? Why are there so few people in the underworld?
Good question. Let's see. In the stories, Charon would always require a coin as payment for passage across the river. But that never made any sense to me. What does an ancient immortal being need with coins? In our case, it seems Charon didn't take the coins we had. He or she merely checked we had one in our possession. So, maybe there's something special about the coins each of us had on us. That might explain why we wound up here, but so many others did not.
Were you trying to keep this from me?
No. I mean, I had my suspicions, especially after Livia's ramblings, but I would never have figured it out without your help, I promise you. Now that we know where we are, we have to figure out what to do about it, if we don't want to be cast into gold for eternity.
That explains why there can be a
We don't have much
zombie
to
in the
go on,
cistern.
except the old stories. I remember 4 in particular about heroes in the underworld. Hercules, the demigod and son of Jupiter. Orpheus, a Thracian poet. Sisyphus, a king of Ephyra. And Aeneas, a Trojan hero. Hercules was able to leave the underworld because he cowed its god with his strength. Sisyphus and Orpheus both relied on their wits instead. They persuaded the goddess of the underworld, Proserpina, to help them escape. And finally, Aeneas was able to escape with the help of a spirit guide, who led him through a secret gate.
These are probably going to be all
So
the
it
different
seems you have
endings of the
2
game.
options: to confront the god of the underworld head-on, or find a way to escape with the help of Proserpina or some other guide.
Can't we just escape the way we came in?
It's a reasonable question, but the problem is, this
Yeah.
place is fairly well designed to keep us here. There's no way to climb up the shaft. And even if you could build a ladder big enough, just trying it would break the golden rule. We know that, thanks
Right.
to the writings left behind by those who've tried.
So the voice you hear, like, the many shall suffer, it's the voice of Hades, Pluto as they call him. I've noticed you seem uncomfortable calling the god of the underworld by his name. Why is that?
All Romans try to avoid saying it, and the reason is quite simple. He might hear us. You may refer to him as Pluto, if you wish, but you'll only be calling attention to yourself. Do so at your own peril.
Tell me more about confronting him head on.
Shh! Is everyone so blunt where you're from?
Yeah.
That option would be the boldest, but also the only way to learn the truth about the Golden Rule, and maybe even put an end to it. As I said, Hercules managed to overpower the god of the underworld, but he was a demigod. Forgive my candor, but you are no Hercules.
Hercules couldn't manipulate time. I mean, the only way I'm not really manipulating time. I'm using Censius' spell, his ritual, to do that. I have a few tricks up my sleeve.
I'll admit, you do seem different to anyone I've ever met. And even that lamp of yours looks like something Prometheus might have stolen from the gods. So, if you want to confront him, I'll help you as much as I can. Who knows? Perhaps your name will be uttered in the same sentence as Hercules one day. But first, you'd need an audience with you-know-who, and for that, you'll need to enter the Great Temple.
He's in the Great
overlooking
Temple.
The city. The problem is, the door has been sealed shut for as long as I've lived here, and there doesn't even seem to be a keyhole. I suspect the answer lies in the desecrated obelisk in front of it. I'm not sure if you noticed, but there are 4 plaques missing from its base. It looks as though somebody, or a series of somebodies, forcibly removed them, and in doing so, dishonored and angered our divine keeper. If you could recover and replace all 4 of those missing plaques, I imagine he might be willing to receive an audience again.
Is it the 4 plaques that say, like, the many shall suffer for the sins of the... Because I do feel like I've seen around 4 of these all over the place.
It's the towering stone monument with 4 sides and a pyramid-shaped head that stands before the Great Temple, a dedication to the god of this place. You'll find them all over Rome, but of course they were looted from Egypt many years ago. It seems one of them made its way here too, although how is a mystery. However, this one is unusual in that each of the 4 sides is decorated in a different style: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and another I don't recognize. That means you'll need to recover 4 different plaques: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and a 4th, a mystery plaque.
Huh. A Herculean task. Where would I find the Roman plaque?
Good question. To answer that, we first need to ask who would have defaced the obelisk in the first place. It would have had the god's name engraved into it, so it may be that whoever desecrated it wanted that name to be
The guy
forgotten.
hiding underground?
And there's only one group of people I know of who might want to do that.
Or
There's
the
a cult
Christians?
in Rome that
Ah.
often argued there is only one true god. Theirs, of course. They've been known to start fires, as well as deface religious monuments whose existence challenged their beliefs. If I were you, I'd go looking for them. Of course, they've all been in hiding since the fire last year, so finding them won't be easy. But I did hear a rumor they have a secret shrine somewhere in the city. Perhaps, if you could find that, you might be able to recover the Roman plaque.
It's so embarrassing for you to be Christian and then to end up in the Greek underworld. It's like, damn, not only is my god not real, but now their gods are real. Where would I find the Greek plaque?
No. But perhaps you should begin your search with the local Greek fellow, Georgius. His store is in the forum.
The Egyptian plaque?
Perhaps Kabash, our Egyptian resident, will be able to tell us. Unfortunately,
He might be the guy hiding underground.
But I did hear Aurelia is peddling rumors about him at the tavern, so perhaps you could talk to her.
Ask
just
the old
take a
man
look
if
in
he's
his
seen
room.
Kabash. The old man is the guy. Ask her. Okay, this one got cancelled. I guess because I already found him underground.
I'm afraid you're on your own with that one. But perhaps finding the other 3 will illuminate the way.
Okay. Man, we've got a lot to do, damn. Tell me more about escaping with the help of Proserpina or a guide.
As I mentioned, both Orpheus and Sisyphus were said to have persuaded Proserpina to help them escape, and Aeneas was guided to the exit. The problem is, those are the stories of a poet, a self-aggrandizing king, and a brawler about their own heroic deeds, so they should be taken with a grain of salt. First, Proserpina. What we do know about her is, well, it's a grim tale. It's said the god of the underworld abducted and dragged her here against her will, forcing her into
Proserpina,
marriage.
so it's Persephone. So she might be willing to work against him to help us?
If the stories are true, then I
Oh.
suppose so.
It must be the
problem
Roman
is,
name
how
for
do we
Persephone.
communicate with her without being noticed by her captor? Leaving that aside for a moment, there is also the possibility of a spirit guide. I don't suppose you've come across one of those in your travels?
I hear the female statues whispering to me every now and then.
Truly? And you're only bringing this up now? Then again, I suppose you were worried I'd think you were as mad as Navia. Can you tell me more? Is it the same voice? What kinds of thing does it say?
It's always the same voice, and she's helpful, but a little cryptic.
Fascinating. Perhaps she is a benevolent spirit. Or perhaps... Perhaps you're hearing the voice of Proserpina herself. If she has indeed been abducted, it would make sense for her to speak in cryptic whispers to avoid detection. Tell me, has she told you anything that might lead you to the way out?
Perhaps she said wade against the current and her tears run through the city and she weeps where the water flows.
That is strange. There are no rivers here.
The
Let me
cistern?
think on that.
Perhaps I need to get into the upper cistern.
Right, because the current flows into the city through the
Yeah.
aqueduct and into the upper cistern. I vaguely recall wondering what was in there, but the door at the back of the great temple is locked up tight. You might be able to get a key from the magistrate, but if that doesn't work, perhaps you can find another way in. Let me know if you find anything in there.
Ask Sensius for the key. Alright, I'm ready to get started.
All right. I would suggest not discussing this with anyone. The best we can do for them is to let them remain oblivious for as long as possible.
I guess
As
so.
for Livia, it seems she's been shouldering the weight of this terrible secret.
Oh
all
yeah, that's
this
why she
time.
went mad. She realized she was in the
Comfort her
underworld.
to know she's not alone.
I guess I'll have a chat with her.
In any case, time is of the essence, so you'd best begin. May Fortuna guide you. Although you may not need her with Proserpina on your side.
Wow, that was a whole fucking... a massive lore dump. We finally know what is going on in the Forgotten City. It did say there were multiple endings, which I guess... yeah, wait against the current. So the multiple endings of the game must be you can either confront Pluto/Hades, or you can escape with the help of Proserpina/Persephone. I was a bit thrown off by the different names. It's the Roman names, not their Greek names, which we are a bit more used to. Wow. Well, there's a whole lot of things to do in the next episode. I've been recording for a very, very long time though, so I'm going to stop the episode here, but wow. See, I thought it was these plaques, because I found like 4 or 5 of these all over the place, but I guess that's not what it is. So we're just in the underworld. Huh.
Salve.
And was I already in the underworld like at the very beginning when I met... I guess so. Huh. That's crazy. Well, we'll have to talk to Livia and tell her, I know what you know. I know we're in the underworld, but I'm gonna do that in the next episode. But oh man, it's such a fun twist. It's not like a twist for twist's sake, you know, it feels earned. It makes perfect sense with what you've seen so far, and like some people might have connected the dots even earlier in the game than I did. I was happy just kind of being taken along on this ride, but now that she mentions it, it makes perfect sense, of course. So that's really fun. I can't wait to play some more. We still have so many leads we need to follow up on, and then we need to actually find a way to escape the city. And of course, I'll try exploring all the different endings if I can. But this was great. I'm definitely enjoying this game. I hope you guys are as well. I kind of forgot to mention it in the first episode. Like usually I like to start these new playthroughs by saying, if this looks up your alley, please consider playing the game for yourself and then watching me. I hope some people maybe felt like trying the game for themselves after watching the first episode, because I think this is a game that definitely deserves being played through at least once by yourself before watching other people play through it. But if so, I'm sure some people will let me know in the comments. So anyways, until next time, I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I had fun playing this. Hope you had fun watching it. I'll see you in the next episode for some more The Forgotten City. À la prochaine.